It's another edition of the Walkoff Mariners podcast. My name is Jordy Bott, and we've got our good friend Juan back after a 1 week absence of going to the arcade. That's fine. You don't have to like us more than games. That's cool. It's been a big week. Lot of things going down. Let's just talk about the games first off. We'll start off with a couple of the games we had. We had the Oakland series, which we took 2 out of 3. I wouldn't call it the best series win, though, in that we had a couple of issues. First off, we almost lost Munoz. That was scary for 2 reasons. One, obviously, he's probably going to be an all-star this year, and you don't want to lose your all-star, but also it kind of let us show just how many flaws this bullpen has right now, which I think was the scariest part of Munoz getting hurt.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it in action this week a little bit, especially with Friday night's game, right? Yeah, you hate to see him going hard into home plate like that and colliding with like, it's like, bro, come on, man. If Brash and Santos were healthy, it'd be a different story. But yeah, concede that run and stay healthy, bro. I understand that it was a nagging issue that he had already had. So, I love that he's doing whatever he can for the team to win and he's playing hard. But sometimes you got to take the foot off the gas to protect yourselves and stay healthy because we need him available. We got to have that for sure. So,
you know how in softball you can have like a designated runner?
Yeah.
We should have that for a wild pitch, a designated person covering home. It's too bad we can't have it's too bad we can't have Haniger or something.
Right? Just Luke Rayleigh would be the perfect guy. Just a goddamn machine of a human being.
Yeah, Luke Rayleigh would break the person sliding into home, though.
No kidding, man. But I mean, the Avs were on a good stretch. You take 2 out of 3. You hope for 3 against Oakland. And then you felt really good Friday night for the first 8 innings of the game. And then you feel the way we feel right now and just hoping that we can secure or avoid a sweep here.
That's one of those games where you turn off the TV and you just sit in silence for like 20 minutes.
The whole time I was like, I really hope this doesn't lead to a spiral. I hope this is not a fucking nail in the coffin that says, all right, this is who you are. Fuck off. You're not a first place team. You're dog shit. And then they go on a losing streak.
It was funny because I was out, so I missed the first inning. So I started watching afterwards, and when I turned it on and saw it was 7-0, I was like, how funny would it be? I didn't say this out loud. I only thought it, so I'm not gonna take credit for jinxing it, but I was
even thunk it.
I was like, how funny would it be to put like a $1 bet on Kansas City right now? And in hindsight, I'm like, I should have just done it. I would have like $20.
I was gonna say that payout would have been huge at that point. You gotta hedge your betting, right? You put $1 on the Mariners to win, and then they go up 7-0. You're like, oh, maybe I put $1.
Take that dollar.
yeah, move it in.
Cash out, get an extra 63 cents, and flip that.
We got Bauman on the mound for the save here. First opportunity.
And we were discussing this. This is going to be a really tough stretch now that they called up Bowman. So we've got Bowman and Bauman. So we've got that to look forward to. I'm just glad I'm not calling these games.
I know so we're recording while Sunday's game is still in progress in the 9th here. So people at home watching can understand what's happening.
It's Bauman, not Bowman.
Bauman is closing. How do you feel about that?
I do like putting Munoz in for the high leverage spot because Munoz faced the hardest part of the lineup for sure. So I like that. That's the strategy. But yeah, no, I don't trust Bauman enough yet. He's had a good stretch of games. He's been good. Looking all right. But the other issue is while I don't trust him, who else do we have? Like we have absolutely worn down the pen this week, even with our off day Monday. But we just used so much of that pen against Kansas City. Ryan Stanek went 3 of 4 games. He needs the day off today. Saucedo's had a few. Sneeze pitched a few, right? Like this bullpen is getting overworked, which also brings up why it's so important that Munoz doesn't get hurt. But that's the nice thing. He is back. I do feel like that's inspired some of the moves that we made. We're sending down some relievers. I think that this isn't a performance thing. This is just like we need fresh arms going back and forth between Tacoma and here.
Yeah, I think you're right too, for sure. Even like Snyder looked fine last night. Great pitch there by Bauman to get that. That's fucking dotted. Um, yeah, but like I was critical of this trade for this kid right here, based off of like what we had to give up to get him, just because of his status as a DFA free agent. Like I would have been okay with that trade had he not been DFA'd and I just saw his numbers as is. And then I would have been like, okay, I get it. And now we're seeing it in action. He's looked really good. So here's hoping he can get these last two outs.
Well, is he still tied with Josh Rojas for the team ERA lead?
To the best of my knowledge, I do believe so. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
I love that. Maybe we should just see if Rojas will start pitching out of the pen. Is that allowed?
We may need him to. I think so. Why not?
Actually, I don't think you can have a position player pitching. There's some rules against it now because there's that one season where they had way too many guys doing it.
I think it's got to be like 8 runs and it has to be like the 8th inning or something like that.
Yeah, it's something silly, which is devastating because our best pitcher is our third baseman.
And here we thought he was going to get a shot last night or on Friday night.
I was hoping. I was like, bring him in. He might have done better than some of the relievers. Let's just dive into that game because that's probably going to take up a lot of time talking about that one. Part of me wants to blame the rain, especially for Miller. You could see Miller was a little uncomfortable, but at the end of the day, he's still allowed 6 runs. Like you still just flat. You just got to be better. There's not really much you can say. Yeah, sure, the rain probably messed up a couple pitches, but I don't think it's going to affect you to the point where they score 6 runs off of him.
No, and I mean, if you're the Mariners, you know how this team is built, and we talk about it all the time, right? If your offense spots you 9 runs, you can't. You just cannot lose those games. That's your whole roster construction is based off of preventing runs, whether it's defense or pitching. Like, it's frustrating to see, and obviously, you can't blame the pitching too much. They've really carried the team, so you got to give them.
Yeah, they're allowed 1.
We'll give them 1.
It is obviously annoying too because when you have a 7-0 lead after 1, that's when you're like, all right, we need our starter to get 6 because we need to conserve this bullpen because we got another week coming up of no off days. So we kind of dropped the ball on that one too. Used up a lot of relievers on Saturday. Thank God Kirby had an amazing start today though.
Yeah, we needed Kirby to do what he did today. He got through 7, which was great. And obviously, Munoz has been off for the better part of a week to get him in and healthy and see him be effective, striking out a guy like Witt. Even the 2 outs that we got before Witt, they were hard outs, but not because Munoz made bad pitches. They weren't hard hit balls. You just needed the defense to make a play for you there. So, I don't know, man. We'll see.
Some other big news going on this week. The beginning of the Tyler 2.0 era. And I say Tyler 2.0 because now we have 2 Tylers, but how long do you think this is going to last? Oh no.
You might be ahead of me.
Oh, no spoilers.
Yeah, there it is.
Bauman's not looking that great.
That's okay. He's got 2 outs.
All right. So how long do we think we're going to have Tyler Locklear up? Do you think this is permanent?
There's no way of knowing until we see a little bit. Today is a good start. You can see the power, natural power in that bat with that double that he hit. I think he offers a lot more than Ty does, to be honest with you. He's a lot taller, which means he's probably going to be a little bit better defensively.
What are you, a girl on Tinder right now?
Yeah.
He's a lot taller.
Sorry. Oh size matters, dude. Anybody that tells you size matters is not true. They're lying to you. It matters. Size definitely matters. Put a line of 10 people and ask them if size matters, and I'll tell you who's a liar and who isn't.
Just going for tall, hey?
Just none but tall. That's a problem. Wow.
I
Wow,
missed
wow,
it.
wow. Do you
I
know what the
missed
score
it.
is right now?
Pardon me?
You know what the score is right now?
3-3.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that was a 2-run homer.
Wow. Okay, I'm still critical of this hunt to trade for Bauman. I'm still very critical.
All right, let's we got time. We got a little commercial break here. So let's keep it talking Locklear.
I
He's
apologize.
taller. What else do you like about him?
Taller. He can score from second on a single. I like that part. That's always nice. Big fan of that. He's young. He's cost controllable, man. Yeah, I think we got to let him run with it, and then that opens up trade possibilities, right? That opens up Ty France as a trade candidate. That means we don't have to go out and get a Pete Alonso for offense. There's a lot of possibilities here. I mean, he's shown that he can hit in the upper minor leagues. Let's see what he can do here. I mean, it didn't take him long for that extra base hit. I'm excited to see what he can do. And no different than Bliss, right? These young guys are energizing and fun to watch, and you hope that it just continues on and they continue to improve and get better and adjust to the game speed at that level.
Yeah, I my only kind of well, I don't even want to say issue, but the thing for me is Ty was hitting so well. Like he had a 133 weighted runs created since the beginning of May. So it's obviously, well, we know it is because of an injury. So the timing is really unfortunate. And I think with Locklear, he has to absolutely rake if he wants to stay up when France comes back, because that's the thing. France wasn't hitting bad. Both of them are just first base DH types. And Garver's also pretty hitting the ball pretty decently well since the beginning of May. I think he's got a 113 weighted runs creative. So that's kind of a little adding a little optimism for Garver. So I think Locklear might not be up that long, but that is, of course, unless he just absolutely tears the cover off the ball. But if that's the case, then we might end up seeing someone like Mitch Haniger getting DFA'd or something. But I
Well,
think it's going to be tough to keep him up.
I was going to propose, and it wouldn't be Haniger. We always know how this team feels about him, and they're not going to DFA him. But with Garber now taking a start a week behind the plate and looking like he's Kirby's personal catcher, is there a possibility where you send down Sebi or DFA Sebi?
Yeah, that's the other thing that we've been discussing is Sebi Zavala is almost becoming. Did he even play? Like, how many at bats does Zavala have in the last 2 weeks?
I don't think he's played in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, so
Since Garber caught, he hasn't played.
yeah, so he might be getting that DFA here pretty soon. I don't know if he'll get claimed or not. I do know teams love backup guys. Like he is capable enough, but if we're like, hey, Garver can catch again, then yeah, I think Sebi becomes the odd man out. And then, but the other issue though is you're still going to want to give Garver those at bats and France those at bats. Those are at bats you're taking away from Tyler Locklear now, and he's still in a development phase. So is it better to have him on the bench getting three maybe starts a week, or is it better just to have him in AAA ready to go and then just in that call up in the summertime or whenever, just have him fresh and always ready to go?
Yeah, I mean, I think you just got to get creative. I mean, we see it all the time with the lineup. It's constantly changing, right? And he's always mixing and matching to get guys in the lineup. So I don't think there's any reason why we can't do that with Locklear, right? It could be a day where, okay, we DH France and we put Tyler Locklear at first base, and then we let Locklear DH, and then Garver is catching. So now we give Cal a full day off and let Locklear DH. There's a lot of ways to get him in the lineup, I think, and I think he's shown enough to prove that maybe he is ready. He can't be possibly bad enough to not be an improvement on our offense right now. I mean, I could be wrong, but fuck, dude. We're not world beaters offensively. So if he can come in and add and be a contributing factor right now, right away, then it's got to happen. We can't worry about development or worry about playing time for these veterans. You got to win.
I also want to clarify too when we talk about getting creative, because I've seen this come up in a few articles, especially trade articles this week. When we're talking about getting creative, we do not mean having Ty France play any position other than first base, which I have seen a lot in trade proposals. And whenever I read that, I'm like, okay, this person has clearly never watched a Mariners game in their life. They'll be like, oh, Ty France is capable of playing second base. It's like, who told you that?
He's way too slow. He's way too slow.
We are not going to say get creative in that regard, but yeah, maybe there are ways you can kind of move around the lineup or sneak them in here and there. But another guy, Ryan Bliss, where do we think he's going to be at when Polanco gets the call? Because he is almost hitting exactly like Polanco in that he's walking a lot, but he's not a high average guy, but he's got a lot more speed than Polanco, that's for sure.
Lot more speed for sure. And I was critical of Bliss when he first came up because it didn't look like he was ready for the game speed.
No, it's because you're a hater.
Well, I gotta contradict everything you say. This is the back and forth.
We can't just keep agreeing.
We can't be on the same page about everything. With that being said, though, I'm coming around. Honestly, he's looked really impressive, and I do believe that the batting average will come around just strictly due to that speed. It's, he's going to steal hits.
Well, we saw it today with his swinging bunt.
Mm-hmm. And you just need to get that guy on base. I don't give a fuck how he does it. He's so fast. He's a really, really fast and good base runner. He's not just speed. He knows how to steal a base. It's evidenced by his stats in the minor leagues. I think he had like 70 stolen bases in AAA last year. Kid's growing on me. Kid's definitely growing on me. He's got to hit a little bit more right now for sure, but I mean, even in extra innings here, he got the bunt down and moved the runner over. I love seeing that shit. Casey's been doing it to us all weekend. So, yeah, I mean, I'm all for getting young and getting guys in there a chance because the guys that were there aren't getting it done and something needs to change.
So when you have like veteran guys like this that aren't performing, which we always see this with the Mariners, right? We've seen it with Frazier. We've seen it with Wong. We kind of started seeing it with Garver. It looks like he's coming around, but Polanco, maybe not so much. What do you think is the deadline where it's like, okay, you guys have to start hitting or else we're just going to take you out? When do you think is the time to do that? When is it too late for them to start hitting?
No, I think it's now, man. We've seen enough of a sample size this season, right? And I'm not saying you're going to get DFA'd or trade or moved or whatever, but oh shit. No, you're good. I'm sorry. You may be relegated to a bench role, but you got to go with who's performing, right? And I know that these guys have a much longer history and there is a track record, but if you're not performing, you're not performing.
Well, and it's funny with the Mariners because on the one hand, it's kind of tough because we have so many of these very poor defender types that should only be DH between Garver, Haniger. France doesn't have a lot of positional flexibility. Like we have a lot of guys. Obviously, we've got our Moores and our Rayleighs, but we've got multiple guys who can only play one position. But on the other hand, you look at it, it seems like we've always got a guy on our team that just doesn't play at all. And right now that's Sebi Zavala. At the beginning of the year, it was Luke Rayleigh. There's just always an extra guy. So this is such a weird team build. So I guess what I want to know from you now is what do you think we should be doing with this extra spot? Because it does seem we're just having a guy hanging around.
Yeah, I think the answer right now is Tyler Locklear. He's the hottest bat in AAA and in the farm system. And he's there. He's ready. He's age appropriate. It's not like we're rushing him. And I think you got to let it go.
I didn't like how you said age appropriate there. That was weird.
It's not either way. Yeah. You know what? Yeah. Yeah, I'll own that. I just watched a documentary on Donald Trump and his creepy relationship with his daughter. So I guess I'm still hung up on that bullshit. Fuck, JP. What are we talking about? The roster spot. Yeah, it's got to go to a hitter, whoever can hit.
All right. Let's discuss another young guy. We've been loving watching Bryan Woo lately. He has just put up amazing numbers. Right now, I think, is tied, or he's right up there with Gilbert and Castillo for the team lead in Fangraphs WAR. And he's had significantly less starts. When do you think we should start ramping up the pitch count for him? Or do you think we even should?
I mean, you may not even need to. He's clearing 6 innings without the
With
pitch count.
75 pitches.
Fuck, do you even need to? Is the question, right? And he has shown that he gets tired once he hits the seventh, or less effective, or maybe just runs into some bad luck. Who knows? But he struggled to pitch in the seventh, and that's fine. If he goes 6 innings of 1.07 ERA, every franchise in the history of any baseball team ever would take that. So, he's getting to the point now where I'm like, fuck, is our fifth starter our ace? Is this a guy that has Cy Young potential? Hell,
He's got nasty stuff too.
and that's it, man. He's around the plate. He works ahead. He works quick. He keeps hitters off balance. Everything I've seen makes me say Emerson who. And I was the biggest Emerson supporter all season. And I still think Emerson has a bright future as a starting pitcher. But I mean, it's night and day between him and Woo. And I don't think there's anybody in that rotation that's better than him right now. It's impressive to see.
And I will also add, I think at some point in the summer, we almost should send Woo down and bring Emerson back up, just to keep Woo fresh for that playoff run, because he is still young. He doesn't have a full season under his belt. There's a good chance he might hit a wall by September. So if we can, send him down, skip a start here, maybe have like a 3-inning start after that, and then just bring him back, because what we've seen from Hancock is that he can hold down the fort. Mm-hmm. So if we can do that, we can keep Woo fresh. We might be laughing come September.
Yeah, yeah, that's tricky because I agree with you, but I also don't want him to necessarily lose that momentum or lose that, standpoint of where he's at right now. Because there's always that chance, right? You get out of it.
I'm talking down the line, though. If he's still pitching like this come mid-July, August, then yeah, keep him up.
Okay, as long as we're on the same page with that. I just don't want.
Oh, yeah, no. That's a legendary run. You're not going to send someone down. Oh, hold on. Salvi got there fast. I thought we were going to score on a wild pitch.
Oh, yeah, you're definitely
Salvi.
How are you
on Salvi? Because my internet's better.
Yeah,
Bonus, dude.
Fucking bonus internet be fuego.
All right, couple more topics here to cover. Let's talk about, it's not Mariner related, but it is a huge thing. How much have you been watching of the London series?
A little bit, not as much as I would have liked to. I watched this morning's game because I was woken up early with work stuff and got to get that in. I put money on the Phillies. That didn't go so well for me today, which was unfortunate. But I like it. It's cool, man. It looks like the seats were full. It seems like fans were having a lot of fun. So I think it's good for baseball. I think they did a good job of sending Bryce Harper over there. I think he's very entertaining. And I think he's good for the brand. So it's cool to see. And I think that's what they want to gain out of international play. I think it was a huge success and good for baseball, good for London, and good for the Philadelphia Phillies and I guess a little bit the New York Mets too, but that's not the same.
That's the only closest to a good thing the New York Mets have had this year. But you said it's good to send Harper over. I think the whole Phillies team in general, they're a very likable group of guys right now, which goes against all the beliefs of Philadelphia. No offense.
Yeah,
but sending Harper there, we saw Harper with his celebration, his soccer celebration, screaming it. It was perfect.
Yeah.
It's how you get fans internationally, because we know that outside of the Netherlands, Europe is not the hottest bed for baseball right now. So this could be a couple steps in the right direction, especially too after Britain's performance in the World Baseball Classic.
Totally. It's fun.
Harry Ford, baby.
Harry Ford, baby. It's fun and I love to see it, man. It's really, really cool. So I hope they continue to go there year in and year out and grow baseball in that part of the world. And Sorry.
Do you know how hard it was for me to not react to that play?
I bet. I fucking bet.
You probably might have seen my face. Like I was just like holding it in while you were talking because I'm like, oh, how far behind is he? When do I bring it up?
Dude, whoever watches this episode, they're gonna be like, they should have just done this after the game. They don't even know what the fuck.
We could have. We started in the 8th inning. But you are on the long toss after this, so it would have. It would have might have been a time conflict.
There was.
But I will say we'll do one more thing about the London series, and then we'll wrap it up with our funnest topic ever. My one issue with the London series is: did you see who threw out the opening pitches?
Yeah, Ferris Bueller, baby.
How was that the best? He's not British.
Beckham was busy. I don't know. The king, his arm would fall off if he tried to throw a first pitch.
Did you see who threw the second one? Actually, the second one makes a little more sense.
No, I didn't see that.
Rob McElhenney.
Oh yeah, no, I can get behind that because he owns Wrexham.
Yeah, so that one made a little bit more sense, and he's a huge Phillies fan, so both of those.
Yeah.
But the Matthew Broderick one, I was like, how does that? And then all of the Instagram comments were about how he like murdered, like he caused a car crash in Ireland and people died, and I'm like, oh well, killing Irish people is pretty British, I guess. I don't. I didn't actually mean to say that, but
how Canadian of you to say such. That was so bold yet so brave. Fucking don't go down any tunnels at night, Jordy.
Okay, so last thing before we go, Thursday night, Jay Buhner night. This is an important one to both of us. We both got the buzz going. Mine, not so much. Oh yeah, okay. You just kind of grew out a little bit too. Yeah, mine. I gotta reshave, but they're shaving heads of fans, and we saw a post that the Mariners, one player has agreed to get their head shaved for it. Who do you think it is?
Cal Raleigh.
Well, that's it. No discuss. You're like, it's got to be Cal, baby.
No, I don't know, man. I'm curious to see, man, because it's funny.
I was looking through team photos, and
there's some locks, man.
Well, I'm like, man, how funny would it be to be Ryan Stanek? Because he just seems like the hair is his personality. But I also kind of thought maybe Munoz, because Munoz always adjusts his hair after every pitch, right? So I was like, maybe he's almost going to get annoyed by it and be like, I want it gone. But I feel like it's going to be a boring answer. It's going to be like Julio or something, who's already got like most of the way there.
Right. I think as far as like closers go, like Munoz and Stanek, I think their power is in their hair. Much like, that Samson or whatever it is.
I was gonna see. I'm like, does he know the name? Is he gonna be able to get the reference?
Samson, right? Is that what it is?
It is Samson. Yes,
it is. Yeah. So I think
the religious guy.
Yeah, fuck, I don't know, man. See the shit I say on stage?
For the Bible.
Yeah, fuck yeah, Cal.
Once again, you even said Raleigh right when he did it, so I was gonna make a joke. Cal Raleigh just got a 2 RBI single once again for anyone not watching. In the 10th,
Mr. Fucking Clutch, baby.
We're bringing in a reliever. The inning's not even over.
Fuck you, MacArthur. Classic case of overworking your bullpen, Kansas City. Let us tell you about it, dickheads. Yeah, you got to leave the closer power within the hair. You can't take away their locks. I would love to see Julio be a part of it, but I don't think he can be the only one that's a part of it. Who else would be good? JP would be a really good one. That'll never happen.
I'm sure the coaches would love it, though, because his helmet's always falling off when he's rounding the bases.
JP and Luis Castillo would be my favorites, but I don't think that's going down.
Oh, man, that would be insane. I don't know if Luis Castillo would look good bald, though.
No, I don't. I think all of these guys will look weird to me with any change of hair.
Like, yeah, Julio's the only one you wouldn't notice much of a difference.
Oh, the only one. The only one. Watch it be somebody like, even like, watch it be Sauce. I mean, like, okay, dude. Like,
it could be him. He does seem like the guy who has the type of energy that would like shave his head at a party, you know?
Totally. Oh,
or he'd be like, let's do mohawks, everyone. We're doing it.
I don't know what's acceptable to say in this moment because obviously we owe a lot to Sauce, and he's still doing us favors in the coming months. But he strikes me as the type of dude that like he is like the Bert Kreischer of Seattle Mariners baseball in the fact that that's the guy I want to party with on the team. That dude is for sure the funnest dude at the party.
Did you see the video of them at the Space Museum when they were in Houston?
No.
Oh, you got okay. It's on the Mariners Instagram account, and it's just him, Trent Thornton, and I can't remember who else was there, but they were just doing this tour of a space museum, and he just was cracking jokes the whole time, and just it was great. Check it out. I feel bad. I'm promoting another Instagram. At Mariners on Instagram. They're getting free shout outs from us. They owe us.
Yeah, I gotta be honest with you. If anybody is watching this podcast, they already follow the Mariners on Instagram. There's no fucking way they don't.
Uh, Speaking of Taylor Saucedo, let's pump Baseball Town a little bit just before we close off. July 6th, you want to add some more details in that one?
Yeah, July 6th, the cafe in Pioneer Square, right by the stadium there. We're joined by our good buddy on our sister podcast on the Blue Jays side, Scott Belford.
If he said anything last week that pissed any listeners off, that is your chance to say it to his face.
And we'll support you. We will tape him in a fucking chair, line y'all up, and just let him know all the issues you have. You just be like, I hate your stupid glasses, Scott.
Screw meet and greets. Let's do that with the VIP tickets.
Just the roast of Scott Belford. Hey, we're doing a live event July 6th at the cafe in Pioneer Square. If you want to roast Scott Belford live while we tape him up and throw pie in his face, get your tickets today. I promise you we won't charge extra for that special edition. We'll even pay for the fucking pie, dog.
All right, July 6th. The link is on our Instagram at Walkoff Mariners. I think that's going to be all for the show. Do you have anything to add before we bounce?
I'm done. Follow, subscribe. Make sure you hit the little alert button on YouTube that lets you know when we got reels and new episodes out. Release episodes every Tuesday. You can also get us on Spotify. We're working on the Apple side of things, but Spotify, Amazon Music, you can stream our podcasts when you're in your car or in your bath or wherever else you listen to podcasts, mostly white women. Sorry, there's no discussion.
How was Bath second?
Dude, you ever been so tired you take a sit down shower?
Yes, I have.
Okay, that's where I'm at. So that's my bath right there.
Okay, that counts. All right. Well, that's going to wrap up our episode. Thank you so much for listening. Feel free to join in the conversation and make your guesses as to who's going to get their head shaved on Thursday on the Mariners. For Juan Forno, I'm Jordy Botts. Have yourselves a great rest of your week. Great west of your week.
Great west.
Have a great week.
Have a great week.
Have a great week.
Time.
Go Melanos.
Go Melanos. He's gonna put this in the fucking episode, man. Just us talking like fucking toddlers. Go Melanos.
Oh Melanos, we love you.
Melanos. The Melanos win.
Oh, awesome vote to close it out.